anymore. I don't even know.
caveman. Tony D'Angelo has some business up and down the Atlantic coast. That's what I got out of this NXT tonight, man. Week number 2 of Vince McMahon's NXT. Bruce Pritchard's NXT. Don't get it confused. Week 2, and it seems like WWE threw a bunch of shit at the wall with absolutely no rhyme or reason. So many new talents, I don't even know half of who they are. And WWE clearly behind Bron Breakker, a.k.a. Rex Steiner, a.k.a. the son of Rick Steiner. And the verdict is in, folks. I'm not liking NXT. In fact, I'm not sure how much longer these reviews are going to stay on Tuesday night. We also got news on Vince McMahon wanting an edgier NXT. You know what's edgier on Tuesday night? Monday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, and Saturday night? This very podcast. This is your NXT post show. Right here on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your NXT 2.0 post show for September 21st, 2021. I'm your host, JD from New York, and this is the OTS venue. Very disappointed, man. Very, very disappointed. We didn't get any Von Wagner tonight. We didn't get any Von Wagner tonight, man. And I'm still wondering, what the fuck is a Von Wagner? I don't know. I guess they're going to keep us guessing on Von Wagner. Listen, guys, I don't want to sit here and cause a ruckus like I did last week. I know last week was the initial first impressions. They clearly did not put their best foot forward last week. So I'm not expecting the type of audience that I had last week. I'm not expecting the type of audience that showed interest in NXT last week, again this week. I don't even think many of those people are watching this show tonight, to be quite honest with you. You know, a lot of people say, give it a chance. A lot of people say, give it some time to develop. What I watched tonight was exactly how Vince McMahon handles talent. There's no rhyme or reason what Vince McMahon or Bruce Pritchard do. They just legitimately throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks. In this case, WWE is trying to throw as many new talent out there as humanly possible. For what reason, I don't know. I really don't. And I know I've been harping on the NXT is dead and Triple H's vision of NXT is dead and Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard killed everything that Triple H built up over the last 9 years. If last week wasn't crystal clear to you guys, this week had to open up your eyes just a little bit more to what I'm seeing. NXT tonight gave you so many new talents with absolutely no backstory whatsoever. I have no idea who half of these fucking people are. They're on a show that I once upon a time absolutely adored. And all I'm thinking about is, look at all these new talents. Is this the right way to debut them? What happened to a vignette or a promo package or a series of vignettes and promo packages? What happened to promos and hearing about where they came from and who they are and what type of character they're playing? We didn't get any of that outside of Tony D'Angelo and his family working up and down the East Coast. If it wasn't crystal clear to you guys last week, it has to be crystal clear to you this week. WWE is showing you exactly what they think of Triple H's NXT. They're showing you the seniority part of NXT, and they're showing you the new talent of NXT, and they're showing you the new talent that is going to run the old guard out of town. Which right now, there isn't really much of the old guard left. Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, KUSHIDA. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what's left of Triple H's NXT. There really isn't anything else. Everything else is a bunch of new names and new faces that I have no fucking clue who they are. WWE, they gave you 2 hours of wrestling tonight, and I don't think one match outside the main event went over 2 minutes tonight. Does that not show you exactly what NXT is turning into? It has to worry you. This entire brand was built up on character development. This entire brand was built up on building the future. This entire brand was built up on professional wrestling. Tonight was week 2, and tonight was a greater indication of what Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are doing. They're presenting characters. They're presenting as much talent as they could possibly fit into one show. They either sink or they either swim. We don't know who's going to sink or who's going to swim just yet. But this isn't NXT anymore. It's not. He may be NXT in name. It's not NXT in feel. It's not NXT in what happens in that squared circle. Certainly not NXT in color or ambiance. There's nothing about this that gives you any indication that the old NXT or part of it will remain. This is NXT/sports entertainment. Week 2 pretty much is confirming everything that I had worried about in week 1 and before the relaunch even happened. NXT is dead. Now, the word dead is a little bit of a harsh term. It really is. I'm not an idiot. I know this is going to take a little bit of time to get used to. I'm trying to enjoy the show. I really am. I'm trying to enjoy the show. I know it's going to take anywhere between 12 to 18 months to see any of this talent fully mature into something that the WWE is going to use in the future. I know it's going to be a long time. It's not going to be an overnight thing. This is not Triple H's vision. This is not taking an Adam Cole from Ring of Honor and putting him in NXT and molding him into a WrestleMania main event guy. This is not that NXT. I'm not seeing anybody that resembles that type of pro wrestler in this version of NXT just yet. It's going to be a little bit of time. But it really makes me wonder, what was wrong with the old NXT? We're throwing so many new talents out there. So many new names, men and women out there. But Triple H was doing the same thing. Everybody that he took, granted it wasn't developing from within. It wasn't taking a relative unknown and putting him in NXT that had some sort of future in pro wrestling, that had years of experience on the indies. WWE is molding from within now. They don't want anybody to have any pro wrestling experience. They don't want anybody to have any independent wrestling background whatsoever. But there really isn't a major deviation away from what Triple H was doing compared to what Vince McMahon and Bruce Prichard are now doing with NXT. They were still creating, and I mentioned this last week. What was wrong? I see so many people online, so many people on social media complaining about the old NXT. The old NXT that you are complaining about is the NXT that Vince McMahon forced on the USA Network. What about the NXT on the WWE Network? I never see people complain about that. I pray to God that you're not complaining about that NXT. That's the NXT I'm talking about. How far off was Triple H and Vince McMahon and their visions? Triple H was doing the same exact thing. He was building new talent. Triple H was molding new talent, getting them ready for the main roster, teaching them the WWE way. Look at the roster that they had. Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Undisputed Era, Street Profits, Viking Raiders. You had Walter. He was still hanging about. Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle, Ricochet, Aleister Black, Andrade, Io Shirai. All these women, Ember Moon. All these different women in and out. What was wrong with Triple H's vision and his version of NXT? There's no major difference between the two. Triple H was doing the same thing that Vince McMahon is doing now. Triple H was doing the same thing then that all these geeks are now jumping on the bandwagon for now. I don't really get it. I don't really understand why everybody is excited about this new NXT. This shit sucks. It does. Never in a million years, watching the old NXT, would I sit here and say, yeah, NXT had a 90-second match. 90-second match, 90-second match, 90-second match, 90-second match. There wasn't one match that went over 2 fucking minutes tonight outside the main event. Triple H never did that. Triple H never gave you 90 seconds, 120-second matches. There was a guy that wrestled tonight. What was his name? David Shen? Bruce Shen? What was his fucking name? I think Bruce Chen was a fucking Japanese pitcher that the Braves took out of Japan many, many, many years ago. What was his name? David Shen? Singapore wrestler? Guy was in the ring for 90 seconds tonight. Somebody please explain to me how that is beneficial to not only him, but the fans watching at home. I don't understand it. This guy didn't do anything to impress me tonight. So why even bother throwing him out there? Triple H wouldn't have done that. Triple H would have let this guy go in the ring, and Triple H would have let this guy get over and show you exactly what this guy can do in the ring. Beat up on some fucking local talent in the Orlando area and fucking beat this guy. Big move, big move, big move. Show me what you got. What the fuck did I see from this guy tonight? What did I see from this guy tonight? Absolutely nothing. 90 seconds. You can't get anybody over in 90 seconds. So what is so great about this version of NXT? Half of these people, I don't even think will make the final cut outside of Rex Steiner. So what exactly are we doing here? Odyssey Jones as well. I like Odyssey Jones. Carmelo Hayes. I like Carmelo Hayes. But this new NXT isn't breaking any ground. In fact, the one thing that I look at when I look at this NXT is AEW Dark Elevation and Dark. Their original Dark show. This is what I look at when I look at NXT. WWE and NXT are trying to emulate AEW Dark. And I don't know if USA Network is going to be on board with that. That's not what they paid for. This new version of NXT is not what they paid for. Can you imagine a USA executive? This is what we're paying you to put on our show or on our network? This show? If I'm USA Network, I'm taking my shit and I'm leaving town. Fuck NXT. This show does not need to be 2 hours. This version of NXT absolutely does not need to be 2 hours. There's no reason why you need to throw 20 or so new talent on the same show, and there's not one single fucking person that knows anything about anybody on this show. That's how you actually lose people's interest. Slow and steady wins the race. Long-term development. You pick and choose who is ready. You pick and choose who you want on the show, and slow and steady wins the race. You don't need to bombard the viewer with 20 new fucking people and a mixture of the old guard on 1 2-hour show. That's not beneficial to anybody. I'm left sitting here asking myself, what the fuck did I watch? Wasn't a good night, folks. Wasn't a good night. This version of NXT is slowly but surely molding into exactly what I said last week. This is nothing more than Vince McMahon's extension of Monday Night Raw, but he's doing it with younger talent, unknown talent, not known to the WWE fan base. That's all it is. Before I get into the actual breakdown of the show, we got a $300 bomb today by Titans fan with a $300 super chat. Oh my goodness, man. Thank you so much, brother. That is a massive bomb in the chat. Says, much love, JD. Thanks for speaking the truth like you only can. Keep my mom in your thoughts and prayers for me. Titans fan, thank you so much, brother. You are absolutely the VIP of tonight's. Everybody in the live stream chat, throw up those prayer emojis. Throw up those prayer emojis for Titans fan and his mom. The OTS family wishes Titans fan mom well. Our love, our thoughts and prayers tonight are with her. Guys, thank you so very much for joining me tonight. Not very excited about what I watched on NXT 2.0 tonight, but we're going to try and make the best of it. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We got 1,500 people in the live stream chat, which is good enough for me, man, on a Tuesday night for NXT. And what we saw tonight, I will take it. We got some exciting stuff going on, man. We got some new emojis exclusive to all channel members right now. We got the Mustang emoji. We got the JD Beer emoji. We got the Last Call emoji. We got the Buried by Bruce emoji. We got the Charbot emoji. We got the JD Chef, which is Titus Catering emoji. We got the Wood Kevin Dunn emoji. And we got the JD yelling profanity emoji. As you guys see there pinned in the live stream chat. We also got badges. If you guys see some of the VIPs in the chat, you got different colored microphones next to your name. That is detailing who is a very young subscriber or VIP and who is the elite VIP. They go up in color. So if you guys see those microphones next to Hula Grim's name, and we got James in the chat, and we got Ricardo in the chat, you guys see those different color microphones, that is just the level of tiers. They have been a channel member. So if you guys want to get in on that, man, all you got to do is hit that join button down below. Make sure you guys become a VIP, and you will have access to those emojis in the chat. That is only for channel members of the OTS venue. We got a meet and greet tomorrow. Tomorrow night is the biggest professional wrestling show on national television all year. It is AEW Grand Slam. They're presenting Grand Slam right here in Queens in Arthur Ashe Stadium. AEW opened up more seats, being that production rolled on in today. They are going to have just about over 20,000 people inside Arthur Ashe Stadium, and it is going to be absolutely bonkers tomorrow night. I'm expecting record numbers on the podcast. I'm not attending the show. I will be right here in the command center. I will be right here in the venue, and I will be covering it. Jesse and I will be covering it. It's going to be a major fucking show, and I cannot wait. I haven't been this excited since 2 weeks ago at All Out, because AEW is doing things right, and they're making things exciting. But before that, I will be doing a VIP meetup in Queens, right here in Queens, Forest Hills Station House. If you guys are attending the show, it is one of my favorite gastropubs in the area. If you guys are attending the show, you can come on out and hang out with me and Issa, the NYC Demon Diva. Her Demonites are going to be there. So make sure you guys get in and get there early. We will be there. It starts at 2:30. Do not come earlier. 2:30. I will be there at 2:30. We'll hang out. We'll have some food. We'll have some good drinks. They got a great menu. Food is excellent. And the beer menu is always great. They always have a nice rotation of craft beers. They got the usual stuff as well, but I like it because they got some really, really, really great craft beer. That is Forest Hills Station House, right off Austin Street. I expect a lot of you guys who are attending the show to come on out and hang out with us tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. It should be awesome. Hopefully, the weather holds up as well. We got a new t-shirt coming. That will be unveiled in the next couple weeks. I just want to keep throwing that little teaser out there for you guys. This one is going to be one of the best looking t-shirts that I've ever put up for the brand. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to show you guys that. That will be in the next couple of weeks. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go and check the Monday Night Raw review out, man. A really, really, really educational discussion about hot shot booking and what WWE did on Monday Night Raw, which, by the way, did not break a 1.8 rating. Oh, man, imagine bringing Roman Reigns to Monday Night Raw and they don't even get a 1.8, man. Oh, my goodness. Listen. Hot shot booking, long-term booking should always be king. WWE gave 2 main events away on Monday Night Raw, and it benefited nobody. And we discussed this on Monday Night Raw and the post show, so if you guys missed that, go and check it out. It's on the channel right now on the homepage. Also, episode 391 of the podcast, we talked about Big E and why he shouldn't have won the WWE Championship last week and why he should be the WWE Champion, but it should have waited. So there's a lot of content on the channel. If you guys missed any of that stuff, go and check it out. It is very much worth your time. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/JD from NY206, bonfire.com for your t-shirts. That is bonfire.com. Link is right underneath the video player that you're watching right now. Any of those shirt designs that you see there, click it. It'll take you right to Bonfire. Very easy access, as now Bonfire is partnered with YouTube. So make sure you guys go and check that out. And today's show is once again sponsored by Homage. HOMAGE.com. If you guys are into retro designs, retro t-shirts, vintage t-shirts, Homage has you guys covered. All you guys got to do is use the link that I provided down in the description. Use that link. Go and shop and check it out. I love it. I own 4 or 5 different retro designs from Homage. Their quality is absolutely out of this world. That is Homage, HOMAGE.com. And I want to thank them for being a great part of the Off the Script family. We got some news to hit on NXT, guys. Before we get into any of the post-show, we got some news in regards to NXT. And I want to start off with what Tommaso Ciampa said in an interview with Justin Barrasso of SportsIllustrated.com. Tommaso Ciampa opened up the show. I will have a lot to say about what he said as the new NXT champion. But he was interviewed by Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated. And Tommaso Ciampa says he gives NXT 2.0 3 to 6 months to prove that they are the A show. Now he says this with Sports Illustrated, and I quote, he's talking about the rebrand and his excitement regarding the changes. I'm embracing the change. It reminds me so much of the NXT that I fell in love with before even arriving in the company. It's exciting watching people develop right in front of your eyes. And here I am, NXT champion of this new, very colorful, loud, in-your-face NXT 2.0. I'm staring at an extremely exciting opportunity. There are guys like Bron Breakker and Von Wagner. Put the lotion in the basket, Von Wagner. We didn't see on the show tonight. Still wondering what the fuck a Von Wagner is, but here we are. We got another week to wait for Von Wagner. Then there's Kyle O'Reilly and Pete Dunne. There's also a draft coming up in a couple weeks. Survivor Series is right around the corner. I look at Roman Reigns and I look at Big E and I think I might be sharing the ring with these guys. That range of competitors is incredible, and I get to be the face of this rebranding. I made a real case in 2018 for NXT to be the A show because that was legitimately NXT being the A show. And there's nobody in this chat that can refute that NXT was not the A show. It was absolutely the best brand in all of professional wrestling. That is the A show. I don't see this ever being the A show for WWE. Like, that was definitely the A show. That's SmackDown right now. But I look at the roster we have in NXT. So give us 3 months. Give us 6 months. And we're going to be back in that discussion. I want to make the NXT title the most prestigious title in all of sports entertainment, and I'm very confident I can do that. People thought NXT was dead, like we were attending a funeral. That's already changed, and the entire atmosphere and energy has already shifted. People know what it's like when Tommaso Ciampa holds the NXT title. It's going to be different than before. That energy is back. So for anyone worried about NXT 2.0, remember that the locker room hasn't changed, neither has our passion. There is a responsibility for us to represent NXT and pro wrestling to the absolute best. We're going to have young, hungry people and veterans of the craft like Kyle, Pete, Roderick Strong, Kushida, and we're all here to prove we are the best. End quote. I love Ciampa. I think Tommaso Ciampa is fucking incredible. He's always been incredible to me. That man had one of the best heel runs that I've ever seen in my 39 years watching this fucking sport. He was absolutely a master of his craft. Everything that he was to NXT is what a lot of people dream of being on any brand that they're wrestling on. The matches that he had with Johnny Gargano are watched and studied every single year on how to tell a story, on how a storyline should be from beginning to end. And then you had Morrow and the voice of Mauro Ranallo call it all. It was a perfect marriage of perfection. It was sheer brilliance. I will never say anything bad about Tommaso Ciampa. Ever, 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 ever. You know where his morals are. You know where his heart lies. When I listen to Ciampa speak here and the words that he said, you can sense he's excited. You can sense he's excited. You can sense he wants to take the leadership role and really lead the charge and pave the way for whoever is next to come after him. I admire that because there's not a lot of people that want to do that. There's not a lot of people that can do that. Now, I said last week, there's no reason why Samoa Joe should have dropped the championship or relinquished the championship, vacated the championship. I don't really think Samoa Joe is injured. Unless I hear otherwise and he comes out and something is just catastrophic in regards to Samoa Joe, I don't think he's injured. And I'm not saying that as, oh my God, yeah, he's lying. I just think WWE does things backstage politically that they usually like to sweep under the rug and hope people forget about it. WWE is not innocent in any of this. This is something that they do time and time and time again. They never looked at Samoa Joe as a big guy or a major guy in their company, a major main event player. They gave him opportunities here and there. He had that match against Lesnar. Fucking fantastic promo back and forth between him, Heyman, Lesnar. The whole feud was great. In fact, I would have given him the WWE Championship at that point. He was so great. But WWE never looked at him as a main event guy. Then they fired him. Then Triple H brought him back legitimately the very next day. You don't think Vince McMahon has anything on the mind when it comes to that? Of course he does. You don't think Bruce Pritchard said something to Vince McMahon? Of course he did. This guy is back. We fired him. Why is he the champion? Get him out of here. We didn't want him then. We don't want him now. There was nobody else on the roster that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard were going to make the champion besides Tommaso Ciampa. Said it last week. I'm going to say it again. Ciampa being the champion, Ciampa as the NXT champion is a symbolic championship reign. Look at the way he is speaking here. He is the old guard. Ciampa is NXT. When Ciampa loses the championship, the old guard dies. That's it. And from what we see on TV, it may be Bron Breakker, Rex Steiner, who takes the reins, and we get Goldie going Rainbow Road. Because there's no reason why we're keeping a black and gold championship on a brand that has multicolored logos. Sorry. We're going to make this title into fucking Rainbow Road. It could sit in the Mushroom Kingdom for all eternity. When Ciampa loses that title, NXT officially is dead. Triple H's vision, Triple H's NXT is gone. Gone with the wind. Dust in the wind. Great song. Great song by Kansas. Over. 3 to 6 months is a very bold statement to make. I'm going to say 12 to 24 months, if that. Some of these talent may be ready. Bron Breakker is ready to break out. You can see it. You can see it. You can hear it. The fans are going crazy for him. The crowd is really behind him. They know who he is. They know what he represents. Social media was buzzing about him last week. He'll be ready. Odyssey Jones, he'll be ready. Carmelo Hayes, probably already ready. Swerve Scott, fantastic. Santos Escobar, one of my favorites. Fantastic. You got guys who are ready. Everybody else, I'm not really crazy about. I'm not. And we've seen some of them tonight. Half of them I don't even know. Joe Gacy? What the fuck did they do with Joe Gacy tonight? Joe Gacy it was almost a mixture of the Big Boss Man and IRS. I don't know where my mind was going when I looked at Joe Gacy tonight. He wrestled in fucking slacks and a dress shirt like he was dressed for a legit funeral. I wonder if that had anything to do with it. Half of these fucking guys, I don't even know. It's very difficult to get excited about these guys when WWE does no effort to get them in the eyes and in the ears and in the minds of the people watching this show. No vignettes, no promo, no backstory. I said it on social media tonight. You can see that WWE is going for a more character-driven show. And I said, it may be cheesy, it may be very, very stereotypical, but Tony D'Angelo is going to be one of the best things about this show. Because whether or not you like that gimmick, and whether or not you think it's stereotypical or not, it's going to be a relatable gimmick, because who doesn't like the accent? Who doesn't like what he's trying to portray there? Everybody loved The Sopranos. I never watched one episode of The Sopranos. One of my favorite movies of all time is Casino. One of my all-time favorite movies is Goodfellas. Right? Everybody knows those movies, man. Everybody. The Godfather. That's a very relatable gimmick. Stereotypical, yes. Relatable, yes. Tony D'Angelo is going to be a character that's going to get over on this show because of how outlandish it's going to be. And I've been quoted saying that you need characters. Some of them won't go anywhere. Some of them won't go anywhere. Some of them won't stick. Some guys are going to be too small. Some guys are not going to cut it in the ring. Some guys may have microphone skills, suck in the ring. Some guys may be great in the ring and have decent microphone skills, mediocre microphone skills. It's going to be all over the place. I commend WWE for trying to build characters, but it has to come at a time where it's slow and steady. You can't throw everybody into the fucking show. Can't throw everybody into the ring and hope that one guy stands out amongst everybody else. One or two guys stands out amongst everybody else. It's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. But I commend Ciampa. I really do. The A show, NXT will never be the A show again. He's got very high praise for NXT, and he's got very lofty expectations, especially with what he did with Johnny Gargano. I don't think anybody in WWE has even come close to what they've done, and nobody will duplicate it. Nobody. Nobody has. Nobody has. I commend him for being so enthusiastic and a leader. But when he loses that championship, the old guard dies. And that is a fact. And especially with what he did tonight, with the promo he cut, it's almost as if he channeled his inner Triple H. And you know Rex Steiner is taking that championship whenever that is. The promo he cut tonight was very, very symbolic of WWE, Vince and Bruce, killing the remaining Triple H NXT. And we'll get into that in a second. Vince McMahon apparently wants an edgier NXT 2.0. He wants an NXT 2.0 that's edgier and with harsher language, with more lenience on female gear. I don't know what that means. This is being reported by Fightful, and they are reporting that Vince McMahon wants the show to be edgier, from the in-ring work and aggression to harsher language. Now, this makes sense, since the reason for the rebranding for the show is to focus on bringing in younger viewers. NXT heavily skews towards older viewers, but it's the younger viewers that advertisers care about the most, and there is a feeling that the show is uncool amongst many fans. It still is uncool. It still is uncool. What Triple H was doing with NXT 1.0, that was cool. I don't understand why Vince McMahon now wants an edgier and harsher NXT. This goes to show you that Vince McMahon did not watch one single episode of NXT in their prime, when they were absolutely volcanic hot. Vince McMahon did not watch one episode of NXT. If now he wants an edgier and a harsher product with language and a lenience on female gear. That's exactly what version 1 of NXT was. It was harsh. It was violent. It was edgier. in all aspects. Cutting promos, in ring, the presentation, the music, the vibe, everything. The crowd. Triple H delivered on everything Vince McMahon now wants for his NXT, which only confirms that Vince McMahon didn't watch one single fucking match in NXT 1.0. Now he wants all these things. I'm sorry, I'm failing to see how this show could be edgier when the fucking logo looks like something out of Super Mario Brothers and could be right out of Rainbow Road in Super Mario Kart. How could you have an edgier and harsher show with that type of fucking color scheme for your show and the music that you got for everything on this show? Edgier and harsher? I don't think so. Triple H did it. Now Vince McMahon wants to do it, not knowing that his son-in-law did everything he wants to do now. It's quite sad. It's quite sad. When someone reads this report, when some fucking geek and Mark reads this report, they'll be like, oh, look at that. Vince McMahon is changing it for the better. Hey, really? Vince McMahon's changing it for the better. Right. What, with 90-second fucking matches? What exactly is Vince McMahon changing for the better? Everything that Vince wants, we've already had. But he killed it because they didn't beat AEW. And he set his son-in-law up for failure. Now he wants to redo everything and make sure he does it right so that Triple H gets no credit whatsoever. Fightful added that there is something about more lenience on female character gear. It's not clear yet what exactly this means. Another thing stated in the report is that the show needs to keep up with current affairs with promos and character verbiage. There goes WWE trying to remain relevant with what's going on in the world today. Why don't you just write for the characters and let some of the characters and the performers write for themselves? Pro wrestling to me is not overly scripting somebody to sound like somebody else. If I'm watching somebody on TV, I want to hear and I want to see them emulating themselves. I want to see words and promos that sound like it's coming from them. Most of the people that you watch on WWE TV, you know that they're overly scripted. Just take Rhea Ripley for fucking example. She is a horrendous promo. I don't know who writes for her, but clearly they don't know who Rhea Ripley is supposed to be or what Rhea Ripley is or the background of Rhea Ripley. Nobody knows. She's out there smiling. She comes out to this fucking screamo music. She's got piercings and fucking chains and spikes. Looks like she's lifted out of a fucking Cannibal Corpse concert and she's put on Monday Night Raw. But yet she's out there smiling and she's standing there next to a fucking comic book loser. Yet you got somebody else on the writing team writing as if she's, I don't know, a comic book character. Let the talent handle their own work. You know, there was a report about a month and a half ago about Hit Row, and Swerve Scott talked about how Triple H gave them free reign to do whatever they want and say whatever they needed to do to get that gimmick over. Because Triple H and his team, Triple H and Shawn Michaels, knew that we got this group, Hit Row, and we got these four people. We got B-Fab and fucking $0, and we got Ashante Adonis, and we got Swerve Scott. They look collectively fucking great together. You're not going to have somebody else write for four individuals like that when you don't know the culture. Why would you have somebody else write for them and try to write to sound like them? Why not just give them the pen and paper, have them go over what they need to do, give it to management, have them proofread it? Okay, it's good. What does it mean? Can you tell me what you're saying here? Okay, go out there and make it your own. That, to me, is pro wrestling. That's what needs to be. I can't sit here and listen to somebody cut a promo and it's written by some fucking pencil neck geek who doesn't know anything about pro wrestling. More lenience on female gear character. All these females look the same. So if that means making the gear stand out and individualizing the female talent so that they all don't look the fucking same, I'm on board with that. I'm completely on board with that. Everybody looks, feels, and sounds the same. Really. Take Zoe Stark, for example. She looks like everybody else. Everybody else. They're all wearing the same gear. So if that is going to change and everybody's going to be a little bit more individualized, I'm fine with that. This is going to be welcome news for fans that have wanted to see a harder edge NXT product, but we've gotten a harder edge NXT product. It was Triple H's version, not the USA Network version. It was the WWE Network version, and then they killed it. But Vince McMahon clearly has confirmed that he's not watched one episode of NXT at all. If he wants a harder version of NXT with harsher language, give me a break. What a fucking ridiculous statement to make. He wants an edgier version of NXT. Really? There was nothing wrong with the old NXT. And one other thing, we talked about this on Saturday. I want to go over this again. Dave Meltzer noted on The Observer last week that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard were not backstage at NXT 2.0 for the debut episode of the relaunch. Shawn Michaels was running the show backstage as Triple H wasn't there due to his recent medical condition. Shawn Michaels was the guy running the show because Triple H obviously is still not healthy, probably won't be back for a while. Shawn was running it. Kevin Dunn was there. No Vince McMahon. No Bruce Pritchard, although Bruce Pritchard had gone down to Orlando just recently. Meltzer added that Vince did review the script of the show. He was involved in the creative of the show, but he was not there. And he was not the guy that was running the show. Whether that will be the case going forward, I don't know. I think this will be his toy until he gets completely tired of it. End quote. So Vince McMahon pretty much wrote the entire show. Ed Koskey, Bruce Pritchard, and Vince McMahon wrote everything for last week's show as they did this week's show. They don't need to be there. Depending on where Monday Night Raw is on a given week, and if it's easy access for Vince or it's worth Vince McMahon's time to make the trip to Orlando or worth Bruce Pritchard's time to make the trip to Orlando, they don't have to be there. They're going to send one of their fucking goons down there. They're going to send Ed Koskey down there. They're going to send whoever is on Vince McMahon's fucking ball parade circus, ball tickler team down there. They're going to send them down there, write the show. Vince is going to sit in Stamford, Connecticut on Zoom. Bruce is going to sit in Stamford, Connecticut on Zoom. They're going to go over everything, and they're going to appoint somebody to make sure the show runs the way that they want. Cue Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels has some idea of what he's doing. So if Shawn Michaels can produce the show written by Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, why does Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard have to be there? Oh, because that they're not there, that doesn't mean that they didn't write the show. They absolutely wrote the show. You could see that some Monday Night Raw isms made its way into week 1. You could see that some Monday Night Raw isms made their way into week 2 of the show, given how we didn't have one match over 90 seconds tonight outside the main event. Vince McMahon is absolutely in charge of NXT. Do not. And I urge you to remain steadfast and honest with yourself and really know what's going on. Triple H is no longer in charge. Shawn Michaels is not in charge. Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are in charge. But they don't have to be there to run the ship. That's what Vince McMahon pays people to do. He wants to be in control. He's going to have his show the way that he wants. But he doesn't have to be there to make sure it all goes like he wants. I appreciate you guys very much in the chat. We almost got 2,000 on a Tuesday night. So thank you guys very much for all of your support. Thank you very much. Continue to get those new memberships in, man. I love those new emojis. They're going to pay for themselves. And I'm very happy with what happened there, man. Deviate Designs, they did an excellent job. Shout out to Paola for doing all of that over at Deviate Designs. Excellent stuff there. So make sure you guys get those new memberships in. You'll have access to those emotes and badges whenever you become a channel member. Let's start with the show, man. NXT opened up with Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa is in the ring, and we got a bunch of the new talent in the ring already, waiting for Ciampa's arrival. He's about to address the NXT Universe. Ciampa said it took 908 days. It's a fucking long time, man. But he's reclaimed his spot at the top of the mountain and reclaimed the NXT Championship that he never lost in the first place. He said it was worth every second of rehab after his injury. He said, I missed you too. And he looked right at Goldie. He got the crowd to chant 2.0, 2.0. Please, I don't want to hear chants of 2.0. Can we at least keep the NXT chant alive and well, please? We don't need to start chanting 2.0. I'm not really sure if the crowd was chanting 2.0 or if it was piped in by Kevin Dunn. I have no idea. He said, I miss you to Goldie. He said, these young men and women have been busting their asses day in and day out. He put over Carmelo Hayes, Odyssey Jones, and Rex Steiner. He said, we may have a fresh coat of paint, but we are still NXT. He then put over the fans as the reason he gets to stand in the ring and do what he does. He said with himself holding the championship, NXT 2.0 became the A show. And then he led everyone in a very Triple H-esque, we are NXT. If the championship win by Ciampa wasn't symbolic enough, that is just the icing on the cake. Tommaso Ciampa is in the ring on week 2 of NXT 2.0, and he's leading the new brigade of talent in a very Triple H-esque we are NXT rally chant. Does that not speak symbolism to you? After what I said last week and why they gave Tommaso Ciampa, of all people, they could have given LA Knight the championship, which I would have actually preferred. But they gave Tommaso Ciampa the NXT championship. Why did they give Ciampa the championship? Why did they have Ciampa cut a promo tonight leading a very Triple H-esque we are NXT battle cry? Because when Ciampa loses the title, Triple H's battle cry of we are NXT is dead. I don't want to hear anything from anybody anymore. This is not my NXT. My NXT lives very well on the WWE Network, and you can go back and watch it anytime you want. 2016, 17, 18, even some of 2019 before they went to the USA Network. Ciampa is a symbolic champion. And when he loses, Triple H's NXT dies. Cameron Grimes and his music plays. He comes down the ramp. He said Ciampa's championship was the rocket fuel he needed to go to the moon. Joe Gacy tried to intervene, and then LA Knight came down the aisle. He said, yeah, Ciampa beat last week. Odyssey Jones pointed out that last week, LA Knight lost twice. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you for reminding me of terrible creative. Pete Dunne then came down and he went into the ring. He was there with Rich Holland. He said he had to say NXT 2.0. Okay, now let it die, please. Everybody's saying NXT 2.0. Everybody is saying NXT. They even got the fucking wrestlers saying NXT 2.0. Can we just have the wrestlers say NXT? We know it's NXT 2.0. You got Pete Dunne out there saying this is NXT 2.0. Enough. Enough. He says he sees a bunch of geezers. All these men in the ring then started to brawl, along with some other guys from the back that I have no clue who they are. All of this action led to everybody get thrown out of the ring, but Ciampa and Bron Breakker were left in the ring. Another blatant right in front of your face tease about what WWE is planning on doing. I don't really understand why this needed to be the way that it was. The only thing that I could really surmise is WWE wants to show you all the new talent that they're about to really push on this show. You got Carmelo Hayes in there, Joe Gacy. You got your Odyssey Jones in there, right? You got your Bron Breakker in there, and amongst others. I know I'm leaving out a couple of guys, but those are the young guys, the young kids that WWE is going to push. Then they mixed in this segment the old guard. You got your Pete Dunnes and your Tommaso Ciampas and your Kyle O'Reillys, who's still there. He wasn't in this segment, but he was on the show tonight. Your KUSHIDAs, your Roderick Strongs. But in this instance, it was Ciampa and it was Pete Dunne. So they're showing you a mix of the old and a lot of the new. And it's very chaotic. It's not a good chaotic. It's a bad chaotic. And it just shows you that NXT is going through a myriad of changes, and I'm not really on board with any of them. That's all this segment did. Ciampa is the world champion, and everything else was chaotic to a point where I didn't really give a shit. And whatever happened with Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland, it led to a tag team match with Bron Breakker and Tommaso Ciampa teaming up against Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland in the main event. So a very Monday Night Raw-esque open to NXT yet again for a second straight week that leads to a tag team match. And the tag team of Ciampa and Bron Breakker are baby faces. Baby faces who are about to collide for the very championship that Tommaso Ciampa holds. So not only are we getting a very formulaic tag team match to come out of a terrible, long-winded segment, but we're getting the can they coexist tag team of Tommaso Ciampa and Bron Breakker. Now, the only question I have is when Bron Breakker eventually goes after the championship, is he going to be a babyface or is he going to be a heel? Because everybody loves Ciampa. Nobody's going to boo Ciampa. Maybe they do in this case. I have no fucking idea. Is Bron Breakker going to go heel? I don't know. The way he's being portrayed and built up, I don't see him going heel at all. So that's where my question lies. But this was a very long-winded segment that was very, very Monday Night Raw-esque. Very Monday Night Raw-esque. So we got the opening match, and Roderick Strong comes out with Diamond Mine. He defeated KUSHIDA to win the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. This was a very good match, but even in this match went over 90 seconds. I forgot about this match, so I apologize for the mistake earlier in the podcast where I said the only match on this show that went over 90 seconds was the tag team match. Even this match, even though it went about 9 minutes, 8 or 9 minutes, if this was on the old NXT and this was on Triple H's 1 hour NXT, this match would have gotten about 18 minutes. Easy. These guys would have absolutely went out there and gave you a barn burner for the Cruiserweight Championship. And they only got 8 minutes to showcase what they do. And in the middle of a fucking commercial break, most of this match was in a commercial break, and most of that 8 minutes was taken up by a 4-minute block of commercials. So how good was this match on TV when we barely got to see most of the match anyway? So Strong, he was in control. KUSHIDA was fighting back. He blocked the superplex. KUSHIDA comes off the top with an avalanche shoulder breaker. Roderick Strong answered back with some backbreakers because he's the master of the backbreakers, Roderick Strong. We got some really stiff shots by Strong. KUSHIDA counters while trying to hoverboard lock Strong. Roddy then seems trapped in the submission, and Malcolm Bivens nicely, inconspicuously, puts Roddy's foot on the bottom rope as the referee is blind to what is going on. The referee is then alerted that Roddy's foot is on the bottom rope. He tells KUSHIDA to break the hold. The ref is then once again distracted by Bivens because Bivens, after he helped Roddy get his foot on the bottom rope, went around the ring, jumped on the apron, was acting like a complete fool, distracting the referee as best he could, and then all of a sudden the Creed brothers, Julius and the other guy, I forgot his name, the Creed brothers, they're on the outside. They pulled KUSHIDA out of the ring, And then the lone female in Diamond Mine, Ivy Nile, hit Kushida with a Superman punch off the steel steps. So then the Creed brothers threw Kushida back in the ring. Roddy picks him up, hits the end of Heartache, and that's it. 1, 2, 3. Roderick Strong wins the Cruiserweight Championship. If this was on the old version of NXT, this match would have been a lot more detailed. Yet this was very main roster-esque as far as championship matches are concerned. If you need to know who's booking this show and who's behind creative, it's not that difficult to figure out. What you watch on Monday night, you will now be seeing on Tuesday night. So we got Grayson Waller. No fucking clue who he is. And I don't want anybody in the goddamn fucking chat asking, JD, how don't you know who he is? Don't you watch NXT UK? No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm not going to sit there on a fucking Thursday afternoon, 3 p.m., watching goddamn WWE Network on Peacock, watching a dead brand. I'm sorry. I don't know who the fuck this Grayson Wheeler is. Who is he? Where did he come from? Why don't I know who he is? He came out to fucking crickets. This guy came out to fucking crickets tonight. Nobody knew who he was. No vignette, no promo, no video package the week before. No, nothing. Nothing about who this guy was. And the fucked up thing is, the one thing I'm thinking about is, what happens to Kushida after all of this is over? Unceremoniously, he loses the Cruiserweight Championship, and we got somebody else coming out challenging Roderick Strong for a Cruiserweight Championship. We don't know who he is, but with his inclusion in this, it seemingly puts Kushida out of the title picture. Who is he? I don't know. Grayson Waller. No fucking idea who he is. So Roddy was like, tell him, Bivens, make the match. I'm gonna beat this guy fucking senseless. I don't give a fuck who he is. So the match is made. Cruiserweight Championship next week. Cruiserweight Championship next week. Yet another Vince McMahon-ism. Yet another Monday Night Raw-ism. People show up, ask for a championship match, and get granted a championship match. In Triple H's old version of NXT, this does not happen. Things have to happen in order for you to get a championship match. You just don't randomly show up, ask, and then get granted a championship match. In Vince McMahon's NXT, that's going to be the thing. Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs, we got a video of them getting involved in a barroom brawl. Very JBL-esque. The background extras here did really nothing to make it seem like it was genuine at all. Everybody was standing around, just standing around. Nobody was playing pool or shooting darts or drinking beer or conversing with one another. Everybody was just standing there in the background. You had all these guys that were brawling in the main scene of this barroom brawl. That was the only action in this thing. And they pretty much said the tag team division in NXT needs to be on notice. So I'm liking that they're giving these guys some sort of direction. We don't know where this direction is going to go. We don't know where this is going to materialize or how this is going to materialize with these guys, Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs. Are they going to be the second coming of the Acolytes? Are we going to see a new APA? Only time will tell, man. I don't know. We got Tony D'Angelo, bro. New York. My family is doing business up and down the East Coast. Tony D'Angelo. Another stereotypical promo by Tony D'Angelo. Listen, I'm going to make something very well known to you all right now. And I mean this wholeheartedly, if anybody needs to manage Tony D'Angelo, fuck everybody in the community, man. If anybody needs to manage or should manage Tony D'Angelo, it's me. Can you imagine Tony D'Angelo and JD? Me standing on the outside, eating a pizza, giving this guy tips in the ring. Tony D'Angelo, yo, where we going after the match is over, bro? I'm in the mood for a nice slice with pepperoni. Where we going? Maybe I could come over to your grandmother's house. I heard she's making spaghetti and meatball. New York. Tony D'Angelo. He's going to be the best thing on this show. It really is. Amari Miller. I know I heard the name before. I know she's been featured on the show, but I haven't gone out of my way to watch because you know what? I don't give a shit. I don't care. Just another generic-looking female that looks like everybody else on the WWE roster. None of these women stand out. None. None of these women stand out. Amari Miller. Why am I supposed to sit here and say, oh my God, I can't wait to see more of Amari Miller? Who is Amari Miller? What is she? Does she have a character? Does she have a background? Why should I care? Again, this would not happen in Triple H's NXT. Kaylee Ray took care of her in 90 seconds. 90 seconds. 1, 2, 3 with the KLR bomb. That was it. Mackenzie Mitchell was backstage with Rex Steiner, and he said he was in a tag team match with the top 3 guys in the world. Ciampa stepped in and said, this is sink or swim time, buddy. Breaker said there's no better partner than he and the champ as he stared at Goldie. You know, I don't know if you guys picked up on Bron Breakker speaking tonight. Man, oh man, you could close your eyes and listen to Bron Breakker cut a promo, man, and you legitimately could hear Uncle Scott Steiner in the distance, man. Seriously. He sounds like a fucking Steiner. Even his delivery in the opening segment of the show, where it was just him and Ciampa staring down Pete Dunne and Rich Holland. He took the microphone, and I swear to God, man, I thought I was listening to his father. He sounded like a mirror image of his fucking father. So this was awesome. I want to hear more of him, man. I want to hear him develop that personality. I really do. Dante Chen. Dante Chen. He went one-on-one with Trey Baxter. This one went 60 seconds. 60 seconds for Dante Chen. Apparently, Chen is the first Singaporean wrestler in WWE. You know, if you want to make a big splash with this guy, I want to see what he could actually do in a WWE ring. This is what I complained about in the beginning. I don't really understand why something like this was necessary. You threw 20 other fucking names at me. Nobody knows who the fuck they are. And yet we get this one guy, and WWE hypes him up as the first Singaporean wrestler in the company. And he's out there in 60 seconds beating Trey Baxter, who was already in the breakout tournament. So this guy's not a fucking pushover. 60 seconds. What did you get out of Dante Chen in 60 seconds? I'll tell you what, nothing. You could have blinked and this was over. You could have got up and went to the fucking bathroom and took a piss, flushed the toilet, washed your hands, walked to the refrigerator in the kitchen, go grab yourself a cold beverage, and before you sit down, this match is over. What did you get out of 60 seconds and Dante Chen that's saying to you, oh man, I can't wait to see this guy. I can't wait to see this guy again. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I looked at Dante Chen and I looked at somebody that ain't gonna cut it. He looks like everybody else. He looks like everybody else. There's nothing special about this guy. Looks like he should be placed on 205 Live, and he'll have a nice little home on 205 Live. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. I don't see Vince McMahon pushing somebody like Dante Chen on the main roster. He beat Trey Baxter in 60 seconds with a gory bomb. That was it. Andre Chase. He was wearing a Chase U shirt. Or sweater, because it's quickly becoming sweater season. Or at least will be. Still seasonably warm right now, which I hope it kind of stays that way. Andre Chase is wearing a Chase U sweater. And he's teaching a college class. And a student asked him about his loss to Odyssey Jones in the breakout tournament. Chase threw a tantrum. He hurled some curse words around. They bleeped it out. He threw some shit off of his desk, threw a steel chair, and he told the student to get the fuck out of his classroom. So Andre Chase pretty much is taking Drew Gulak's gimmick and kind of embellishing on it. That's what I see here. Good on WWE to rehash gimmicks that already have some sort of role on the current WWE roster. Isn't this Drew Gulak's gimmick? So he's teaching a class of students about why he is better than everybody else and why everything he thinks and says is better than everybody else, and it should be what people really learn from. Chase you. But I guess this is the gimmick they're going with. We got another Dean Douglas on our hands, folks. Another Dean Douglas in NXT. Great. What is old is new again, I guess. I don't know. Joe Gacy. He was in the middle of the ring. He was sitting in a chair. Spotlight on him. He said, tonight, this ring is a safe space. He said, NXT is a place where we settle our differences, and he comes here tonight, and he comes here in the spirit of conflict and resolution and doesn't want to use his male privilege. He says he'll be the man who shows us we can achieve peace in this safe space. I don't know what Joe Gacy is pretending to be. I don't. Like I said, he looked like he was a mixture of Big Boss Man and IRS with what he was wearing tonight. He legitimately wore black slacks, shoes, and a gray button-down shirt tucked in. What is Joe Gacy supposed to be? Is he Kevin Owens 2.0? Like, why am I going to care about Joe? Like, I understand you need to give this guy some sort of direction. But this doesn't really tell a whole lot about what Joe Gacy is doing in NXT. I don't know. Some people on social media were like, he's a take on PC Principal from South Park. I don't watch South Park. I never found South Park to be something I'd watch. But I don't know. Is he Kevin Owens 2.0? Is he taking some inspiration from South Park? Does he have an SJW gimmick? He said he doesn't want to use his male privilege. What the fuck does that mean? Don't tell me they're turning Joe Gacy into a fucking pussy. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. Jehovah's Witness, Joe Gacy. Maybe. I have no idea. All I know is I'm not interested in it. Cameron Grimes versus Joe Gacy. This one went about 3 minutes, almost 3 minutes. So it was pretty much a cave-in out of nowhere because that's what Cameron Grimes does to the moon. And Cameron Grimes gets the victory over Joe Gacy. Goodbye. Not really anything special at all. Joe Gacy then, after the match, extended a hand to Grimes. He went in for a hug. Grimes didn't trust it, but Gacy gave him a thumbs up and left. I don't know, man. I don't know. It looks like Joe Gacy's character is fucking finished already. Literally no interest in it whatsoever. Back to the drawing board you go. We got Anna Scher versus Elektra Lopez. And this one went about 90 seconds. Elektra Lopez wins with a sit-out powerbomb. That was pretty much enough for the win. Anna Scher apparently was on one of the dark shows in the beginning of August. And now she's made her way into NXT. I believe her name was Tesha Price, if I'm not mistaken, folks, in the chat. So I got that correct? Tesha Price or Tisha Price on AEW. So WWE confirming scouting talent from AEW Dark. Good on you guys. Good on you guys. But I thought AEW was not competition. Really now? Unbelievable. Majin with the Mr. Hughes reference. There you go. Joe Gacy's the new Mr. Hughes. Seriously, Mr. fucking Hughes. Actually, you know what? I enjoyed Mr. Hughes. I enjoyed Mr. Hughes, man, with Harvey Wimpleman. That wasn't a bad gimmick. Joe Gacy's the new Mr. Hughes. Anyway, Santos Escobar put Lopez over on the mic, called her Familia. Elektra got some mic time, said this was a small taste of what she'd unleash on B-Fab. And there it is again. She mentioned NXT 2.0. They got all the talent saying NXT 2.0. She called out B-Fab and hit Row, walked down the aisle, and B-Fab came out from behind and attacked Elektra Lopez. And then all the men eventually pulled them apart. And then the audience was chanting, "Let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight." Von Wagner. He used the sledgehammer on a tire and said he could complain about last week, or he could put in the work. Lotion in the basket. Von Wagner. Put the lotion in the basket. Von Wagner. Von Wagner's going to put in the work, folks. Von Wagner's going to put in the folks, and I'm here asking, what the fuck is a Von Wagner? I don't know. Von Wagner. Now I guess he's a fucking tire mechanic. Von Wagner. Cora Jade, who's another up-and-coming female talent on the show, told her real-life boyfriend, Trey Baxter, to keep his chin up. She called him a superhero. She kissed him on the lips and left. He then looked into the distance and reiterated the word, superhero. Yes, we need more fucking superheroes on WWE television, right? We need more superheroes on WWE television. Please. Next time we see this guy, he's going to be wearing a fucking mask and a cape, and he's going to be emulating Nikki Cross. Watch. Raquel Gonzalez, she was backstage. She ran into Frankie Monet and the Frankie Monet brand. She said they got what they wanted because next week they got a championship match. This match was supposed to happen last week. It didn't happen this week. WWE held it off for 2 weeks. We don't know why, but now it's happening on week 3 of the relaunch. We got a new women's wrestler that walked into the show, Lash Legend. No fucking clue who this is. Lash Legend. Not one promo, not one vignette, not one coming attraction, nothing. Has anybody seen Lash Legend before? Does anybody give a fuck about Lash Legend? Who is she? So they're putting her on the show next week, and they're having her do a talk show. It's exactly what fucking NXT needs. A fucking talk show. Her talk show is going to be lashing out. This show is dead. NXT is dead. Yes, Lash Legend. That's who WWE has debuting next week. She was not great on the microphone, very cringy, very stereotypical for whatever her gimmick is. Very quote-unquote ghetto, I guess. But what the fuck do I know? Lash Legend. I don't give a shit what she does or what she does in the ring or with this lashing out. I want to see what she does in between the ropes. That's what I want to see. Do we got another Bianca Belair on our hands? Do we have another Naomi on our hands? How great. We got somebody that looks like Naomi on NXT. Meanwhile, the real Naomi can't even find fucking TV time. No, but we got Lash Legend. I want to see how much of a legend she is. She'll be a legendary failure in about 3 weeks. Odyssey Jones. 2 enhancement talents. This guy destroyed 2 enhancement talents in about 2 minutes. They ended up laid up on the mat. Jones went up to the second rope and absolutely demolished them with a big splash. 1, 2, 3. Andre Chase ran down the aisle, got in the ring. You know, the guy with the Chase U shirt on. Mr. Dean Douglas here, Chase. Andre Chase. He tried to use a chair on Jones. Jones stopped the chair, and it actually broke the chair when he blocked the chair shot. And that was pretty much it. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, they met up with Grayson Waller, and they were kind of acting cocky around him. You know, oh, look at you. You're getting a Cruiserweight Championship match. And then Carmelo Hayes shows him the contract. Oh, this is my opportunity. So I could take your opportunity away from you whenever I want. Yeah, because Carmelo Hayes is going to use his fucking contract for any championship he wants on the Cruiserweight Championship, right? I thought Carmelo Hayes, when he shoots, he never misses. Oh, man. Don't tell me you're going after the Cruiserweight Championship, bro. It's another fucking airball by Carmelo Hayes, I see. Give me a break. Why would you even tease going after the Cruiserweight Championship on somebody that's not the Cruiserweight Champion? Just set your sights on Bron Breakker. That's all you got to do. Don't worry about this guy. Don't worry about Swerve. Just go after the one title that you need to cash in on. Guy's going after a fucking Cruiserweight Championship. What are you, fucking stupid? So, after Waller left, Grayson Waller, don't know who he is. Still don't know who he is. He's fighting Roddy next week. Toxic Attraction, Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane, they walked by Jones and Trick Williams, and they were drooling over how great the women looked when they walked by them. I guess this goes with the edginess factor of WWE wanting NXT to be edgier, cooler, attracting a younger audience. We got a promo from Ikemen Jiro. He invited us into his full closet of wild jackets. He says, when people think of Japanese wrestlers, they think strong style. But when you look at Ikemen Jiro, it's about style strong. I sit here and I tell you, Ikemen Jiro is a hard pass from yours truly. Toxic Attraction was in the ring. And I gotta admit, this was probably one of the best parts of the entire show. First of all, I love the name. I think it's great. And Mandy Rose in the middle of Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, who I don't know really much about JC Jane, but all I know is that they look great. They look great together. They look great as a trio. They actually walked out and they got this really 80s rocker vibe. They got this 80s rocker-esque vibe to them. It's almost as if they were walking out on set to film the next Bret Michaels video or the next Motley Crue Poison video, you know? That's what they kind of gave off to me. They got that 80s vibe there. They got this theme music. They look great. They look great. I don't know how well Mandy Rose is going to be in the ring wrestling on NXT, but in this NXT, I could see Mandy Rose thriving because this isn't like the NXT of old. This is Vince McMahon's NXT. If you put Mandy Rose on the old NXT, forget about it. It's a fucking failure right out of the gate. But look at what is happening now. This is a new NXT. She may actually have a career renaissance here with Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. And they all look great together. Mandy Rose put herself over as a woman who needed to be in NXT as a woman the audience will never be with, but will always look at. She asked where the fans were when her face was battered and beaten. She said these two, Gigi and JC, don't give a damn what people think. She said they showed her that behind that beauty was a beast waiting to be unleashed. Gigi Dolan said the pain of her past has always fueled her aggression. And she did cut a very good promo. Very decent on the microphone was Gigi Dolan. She said chaos without a purpose, though, is just an accident waiting to happen. With Mandy, she says they'll go to the top of NXT 2.0. They'll go to the top of NXT 2.0. Can we just say NXT, please? JC Jane said Toxic Attraction weren't just some pretty faces in the crowd. They're not going to wait around for an opportunity like the rest of the roster. They want the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. She said Io Shirai and Zoe Stark have an ass-kicking waiting for them. So we're getting a tag team title match next week. Io and Zoe versus Gigi and JC. I absolutely see a title change happening next week on NXT. Backstage, Mackenzie Mitchell talked to the champs, Zoe and Io. Io says she doesn't like Gigi or JC, so they're on. Zoe said in principle, Io should ask her about this first because they're a team, even though she agreed. So the match was made for next week, and now both women's championships are on the line next week. We got Raquel versus, what's her name? Taya Valkyrie, Frankie Monet, and we got the women's tag team championships on the line. Zoe and Io versus Gigi and JC. Tommaso Ciampa and Bron Breakker, Rex Steiner, versus Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. This wasn't a bad tag team match. Very similar to what you'd see on the main roster. And Ciampa was in control here. He was blindsided by a spear from Holland. And we got a commercial break. Dunne is stomping on Ciampa. Ciampa answers back with some kicks of his own. Holland tagged in. Heels are continuing to work over Ciampa, cutting his portion of the ring off from himself. He counters Holland. He gives Holland the suplex. He makes the hot tag to Rex Steiner, who runs wild. Steiner exploded in the ring. Big power moves, big suplexes. Steiner applies the Steiner recliner in this match. If you guys are aware of the Steiner recliner. And Pete Dunne was able to escape the hold by targeting Breaker's fingers. Finger break spot by Dunne. Joint manipulation by Dunne. Stomped on Rex Steiner's hand. The heels are back in control now when Ciampa jumps in, breaks up a pin attempt. Ciampa and Dunne are exchanging strikes in the middle of the ring. Both guys are not legal. The legal men are Holland and Steiner. Holland gives Ciampa an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. And then Steiner gives Dunne an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. Steiner and Holland face off like two giant bulls. They collide in the middle of the ring. They hit each other with lariats. Neither man sells it. Neither man goes down. And the heels are trying to use the Billy Club at this point. Because Rich Holland comes out with that Billy Club. Well, they couldn't get the baby faces where they want them. They try the cheap tactics of the Billy Club. So Ciampa jumped in to make a save. Ciampa is soon knocked out of the ring. Rex Steiner went to press slam Dunne, but Holland rakes the eyes. Kyle O'Reilly ran down to ringside because Kyle O'Reilly was taken out by both Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland. He was actually saved last week by Von Wagner. Saved last week by Von Wagner. O'Reilly grabbed the Billy Club, hit Holland with his own Billy Club. O'Reilly rolled Holland back into the ring for the finish. And Ciampa gives Dunne a Willow's Bell. Breaker then with a Gorilla Press power slam on Ridge Holland, which looked a little botched, but it still looked impressive. And Breaker covers Ridge Holland. 1, 2, 3. After the match is over, both guys are standing tall in the middle of the ring. And Mr. Rex Steiner is looking at the NXT Championship, staring at it. He doesn't want to give it back to Ciampa. Ciampa has to grab it from him. They raise each other's hands, and that's the way the show goes off the air. NXT 2.0 Week 2 was a failure. I don't really know what WWE was thinking here. Of all the talent that debuted on this show, I don't find any of the talent exciting. I don't find any of the talent really exciting enough to say, you know what, I can't wait to see these people again. Lots of talent and nothing behind it. I find it very difficult to believe how anything that happened on tonight's show would benefit any of the talent outside of a Bron Breakker. That's it. None of the talent benefited from anything tonight. It honestly felt like this script was fucking put together in about 30 minutes and nobody gave a shit about anything. Let's throw this shit at the wall. Let's see who sinks. Let's see who swims. And let's see what fucking sticks and see what the fans enjoy. That's it. There's no direction. There's no vision. WWE is trying to get all these names on TV so that you know, listen, the old NXT is dead. They're trying to get all these names on television to make you forget everything about what you loved and have come to know about NXT. That's why they did what they did tonight. This is going to be a process where the old NXT deteriorates down to nothing. That was the vision of tonight's show. And that is what Vince McMahon is absolutely doing on Tuesday night. Thank you guys very much. We had 1,800 people in the venue. We're about to go over the super chats in just a little bit, man. But first of all, I want to say not only thank you, but I hope you guys consider to join the channel, man. Hit that join button down below. We already got 10 new members tonight. We got 10 new members tonight in the venue, and we got these beautiful emojis done by my team over at DV8 Designs, man. They are my go-to to take the production value of the live streams and the channel up to the next level, man. And wait till you see what I got planned in the early part of 2022, man. If you think the production value looks great now, wait till you see the other shit I'm going to be adding. Honestly, it's going to be awesome. Well, please consider joining, man. You got these great emojis. We got a Mustang emoji. We got a JD Beer emoji. It's last call. You guys can use the last call. I see the last call emoji being used in the chat right now. Get those super chats in, man. It's last call at the bar. Get them on in. We're going to read them in just a little bit. We also got those custom badges for all the OTS VIPs, man. No matter how long you've been a member of the VIP club here in the venue, you guys can show off how long you've been VIP with those custom badges. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for notifications. And make sure you guys go check out my boys over at Homage, Homage, for your retro and vintage t-shirts, man. Some really, really great stuff over at homage.com. I got my cold beverage ready, man. Let's go over the super chats. Gonna start with this one. IBNF James with two $10 super chats. Hey, JD, can't wait to meet you tomorrow. How long is your meet and greet going to be? It is going to be till about 5:30. A good 3 hours. 2:30 to 5:30. Maybe we'll push it to 6, depending on who wants to get to Arthur Ashe Stadium a little bit early. But I will be there at 2:30. That is Forest Hills Station House in Queens, New York. Gonna be a good time. Issa and I will be there. It's gonna be a good time, man. They got some great food and some excellent drinks. I might not get to check out at the hotel until about 3:30. Keep up the great work, brother. Whatever you want to drink at the meet and greet, it's on me. Much love, brother. Thank you so much, James. Always appreciate you in the venue, brother. Please behave with a $50 super chat. Honestly, can't say that I dislike tonight's show besides the weak crowd. Legado continues to be one of the best things in pro wrestling today. Elektra Lopez is just icing on the cake. I love Legado, man. I loved them before. I'm not really too familiar with Elektra Lopez. I got to see what she can do in the ring, but she does definitely add a different flavor, and that female inclusion definitely takes the group to a next level for sure. I think the presentation is a lot better with her there. Drizzy Drew with a $4.99 super chat. I need to see Tony D'Angelo's next segment to be looking at EC3 designer coats, fluffing pillows, and ordering an ice-cold Guinness. He equals a NXT future star. Bro, listen. Tony D'Angelo is going to be the best thing about NXT. I'm calling it right now. He's going to be the best thing about NXT, man. Rob Bebe becomes a new member in the venue. What are you drinking, Rob Bebe? Drinks are on me, man. James Cooper II becomes a new member. What are you drinking, James? Round is on me. Drizzy Drew with a $1.99 super chat. Got to make JD Tony Long's lost mob cousin / manager. The Undertaker becomes a new member. Rest in peace. What are you drinking, Undertaker? I got a dead guy Rogue Ale. I think that's right up your alley. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. What's up, JD? Can I just say that NXT is too long at 2 hours? Yes, you can. I said the same thing. Them at 1 hour is just a much better show, and the second hour isn't needed. No, I agree with you. It is not. In your opinion, what are your thoughts on the don't like it, don't watch it weak counter argument? In my opinion, I hate that argument, bro. Furious Nation, from what I could tell you, the don't like it, don't watch it argument is the argument of somebody that has the IQ of this fucking pen sitting on my office desk. They have the IQ of a fucking pen when they use that argument. Well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, I don't know, man. Don't you know that I have a very, very successful podcast? Don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like it, don't follow. If you don't like it, don't tweet. If you don't like it, keep fucking scrolling. Marcus Gunn with a $2 super chat. Enjoy Grand Slam Dynamite tomorrow, bro. Oh. You don't gotta ask me twice, Marcus. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Tony D'Angelo reminds me of Al Capone. Smelly Wrestling Geek becomes a new member. Bro, what are you drinking? Smelly Wrestling Geek needs to use some Dr. Squatch. DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. Freebird with a $20 super chat. JD, I'm 21. I went back and looked. I've been subscribed to you for 6 years. Your knowledge on the product and OTS is what brought me here. Keep up the hard work. I hope to go to one of your meetups and one day buy you a beer. Freebird. You keep doing you, bro. As long as AEW continues to pump out these shows, I'll be all over. And I appreciate all of your support for the last 6 years, man. That's a long time. Titans fan, once again, thank you so much, brother, with the $300 super chat. Much love, JD. Thanks for speaking the truth like you only can. Keep my mom in your thoughts and prayers. Shout out to Titans fan. And all the love, support, thoughts, and prayers to Titans mother. Colin Hutton with a Canadian $10 super chat. The reason why the matches on NXT are so short is because majority of the roster is way too green, and the longer the match goes, the more exposed the talent weaknesses are. Well, then maybe it shouldn't be on USA Network. Maybe it should be on WWE Network, like AEW Dark. Or maybe WWE could move it to YouTube. Carlos Ortiz becomes a new member inside the OTS venue. What are you drinking, bro? You're sitting VIP with me and the rest of everybody else back there, man. I might have to start building a bigger fucking booth back there. Stacy Brown with a $5 super chat. New subscriber to the channel. Have a cold beverage on me. Stacy, thank you so much. Welcome to the venue, and I hope this is not the last time we see you here. Me Wilson with a $9.99 super chat. What's up, JD? Just wanted to say I can't wait for tomorrow night. Grand Slam is going to be great. And sorry I haven't sent a super chat the last two streams, but I caught up. I can't wait to see you and Jesse. Bro, listen. You've done so much, man. We're happy to have you here. Jesse and I legitimately cannot wait for tomorrow, man. It is going to be epic. Absolutely epic. My boy James with a $5 super chat. Everyone give some love for my son's cat, Thanos. He just got home today from getting his nuts redeemed. Listen, man, I am a proud father of 2 fur babies. So thoughts and prayers to Thanos, man. He sounds like a beast. Thanos. Freebird with a $4.99 super chat. At what point does WWE do something drastic to everything to even try to compete with AEW? And still something happens. I'm only watching AEW and JD. Thank you, Freebird. Mr. Cake with a $2 super chat. Do you remember how Triple H and Dusty put new stars on NXT? Yes, I do. Not the way that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard did it tonight. Floppy Drisk Drive. Or Floppy Drisk Dive. He becomes a new member. I fucked your name up, bro. Your first 2 rounds are on me. Thank you for becoming a new member, bro. What are you drinking? Cell Dweller Fangirl with a Australiamite $2.99 super chat. How many weeks till Ciampa gets buried, you think? I give it about a solid 2 months. Solid 2 months. I think we see it in October. I think we see it in a couple of weeks, actually. WWE is going to have their draft week. I think it happens that week. We got Issa in the chat. We got the NYC Demon Diva with a $4.99 super chat. Hi, everyone. Buy me drinks tomorrow. Heart emoji. You heard the woman. How could you say no? Cell Dweller Fangirl with a $2.99 Australiamite. Chances of Asuka. EO to AEW. Asuka especially, please. I don't really know right now. I don't know what their contract situations are. I am not Sean Ross Sapp. I don't know. Jericho 8131 with a $5 super chat. There's no one on the main roster who should beat Roman for the championship. I agree. Do you see Vince picking one of his NXT guys to dethrone Roman? No. No. Roman is not losing the championship. Roman is not losing, period. Balor, loss. Lesnar, loss. Big E, loss. Dwayne, loss. McIntyre, when he gets drafted to SmackDown, loss. Everybody's falling to the tribal chief. Just the way it has to be. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. You want to sit at the head of the table? You got to earn it. There's nobody there that's earned it, and nobody will ever be ready. CC Nation with a $5 super chat. I looked up the name Lash Legend. Apparently, it's a website that sells makeup, shampoo, and adhesives. There you go. Lash Legend. Already a legend or legendary failure. Hasn't even made her debut yet. I see that being absolutely fucking downright awful and cringe next week. Oh my goodness, man. Oh, but JD is racist. JD is racist. How could he? Michael McFarland with a $1.99 super chat. Love your videos, man. I love that you're here, Michael. Araceli Bernardo with a $2 super chat. I love Bronson Steiner. Those dimples, he is so fine. To each his own, man. Yeah, we got a super chat here by Coiled Phoenix. $100 super chat. Coiled Phoenix with a 100 bomb. Thank you, Coiled Phoenix. Just wanted to show my love to you and the OTS fam, as always, and say thank you for all the well wishes and prayers while I was sick. All of you guys are awesome. JD, please keep up the good work, and I'm looking forward to all the new things coming to OTS. Hopefully you are on your way to a 100% recovery, Coil. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you so much. We got a new membership from Risen. Happy to have Risen in the chat. Fun fact, the first band that I ever played for and formed with my brother was called Risen. R-I-Z-E-N. And we were pretty damn fucking good too, man. Max Mello, 94. $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, NXT is starting to sound like Raw when AJ Lee and two others were worth watching and the rest was snooze fest. Can't get myself to watch NXT. I'm sorry to hear that, Max Mello. I unfortunately have to watch it because people count on me to give them the news and the truth. The Beta with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, I joined earlier today. I appreciate the content you put out. It's awesome. Keep up the good work. And is there a VIP Discord that I can join? Beta, I will post that on YouTube in a members-only thread. So look out for that. It'll be in the community section. And I'll post that all for my new members tonight, man. I promise you. Misconduct 24 becomes a new member. What are you drinking? Round is on me. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Also, AJ Styles needs to get away from Omos. Omos! And go to SmackDown in the draft. Some people, though, will say that his kids play sports on Fridays. I don't know, man. Whatever they do with AJ, I don't give a shit. AJ feels like everybody else, man. Normal. AJ does not feel special at all. The Undertaker with a $5 super chat. Should I put over Von Wagner in Saudi Arabia? Taker, I'll get back to you on that one, bro. You gotta ensure that Von Wagner puts the lotion in the basket. Von Wagner. Bilderberg Boy 9 with a $5 super chat. Been watching wrestling since I was 6. I've been hooked ever since Billy Graham destroyed Bob Backlund's title. Your show is freaking awesome. Hashtag Jersey. Bilderberg. It's nice to have somebody with intelligence in the chat, man. Thank you and welcome. Reggie Smith with a new membership in the venue, man. What are you drinking? And thank you for becoming a member and a VIP of this fine establishment. Love it. Metalhead for Life with a $2.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Reggie Smith with a $1.99 super chat. New member. Been a fan of you since Money in the Bank. Love OTS. So you've been with us for just a couple of months, bro. You joined at the right time, man. I've been churning out some of the best stuff the podcast has ever produced this year. I appreciate you, Reggie. Thank you and welcome. Max Mello 94, 199. Curious question. Do you see WWE falling like WCW? No. No, I do not. Creatively, they're already dead. Do I see them going bankrupt like WCW? No. Vince has people in place that will ensure that will never happen. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Also, what are your thoughts on Rex Steiner in the ring? And did you see Daniel Bryan's recent message about WWE? Take care, bro, and have a good night. Yes, Daniel Bryan is a fine individual. I'm not surprised at the letter to Vince McMahon he put out today. And I'm not really big on Rex Steiner in the ring. I wasn't really big on the Steiner brothers in the ring. So if you enjoyed the Steiner brothers, you're going to enjoy Rex Steiner and vice versa. He does what he does to get by. He looks great. He looks physically intimidating. And that's all WWE cares about. James with a $5 super chat. If anyone would like to join me in a blank of Dynamite tomorrow night, shoot me up on the gram. I don't know what you mean by that, James. A blank of Dynamite? A shit ton of Dynamite? Cell Dweller Fangirl with a Australiamite $7.99 super chat. Out of the current WWE roster, who would you like to go to AEW? Sasha, Io, and Asuka for me personally. Great show, JD. I'd probably pick Sasha Banks for sure. I'd love to see Sasha in AEW. Metalhead for Life with a $4.99 super chat. Keep it up, he says, with a YouTube super emojicon. And Marcus Gunn becomes a new member in the OTS venue. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much, man. What are you drinking? Guys, I'm about to get out of here, man. I got some stuff to do on Destiny, man. I gotta get myself a new catalyst for the Edgier Scepter exotic fusion rifle. That's what I gotta do. Had a good time doing NXT tonight, man. You guys make it worth my while on Tuesday night. If you guys keep showing up, I'll keep doing them. If you guys keep showing up, I will continue to do them, man. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. JD from NY206 on Twitter and Instagram. Alexis Rodriguez. Hi, JD. As a Mets fan, I like the 95 series hat. Thank you so much, brother. The Mets aren't doing too well this year, man. They may not even make the playoffs. Make sure you guys check out all the other videos on the channel, man. We got OTS 391 from Sunday, Monday Night Raw. I'll be back tomorrow with Jesse, man. The biggest television pro wrestling event of the entire year. And remember, guys, the meet and greet. If you're going to be in New York City tomorrow, and I hope you all turn out, man. I want to see over 100 of you. Maybe I should call them and let them know there's going to be a large gathering tomorrow. I haven't done that yet. Make sure you guys show up at the Forest Hill Station House, man. Literally a 7 minutes Uber ride to Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's going to be great. Dynamite tomorrow. Grand Slam going to be awesome. Francis Loop with a $10 super chat. So Vince wants an edgier and harsher NXT, basically what Triple H has done on the network. Seems to me Vince is doing the same thing, but is going to take all the credit for Triple H's hard work. Bro, we already know this. We already know this, man. I said this before. But thank you for the $10, man. Listen, guys, I'm about to get out of here. I'll see you at the meet and greet tomorrow, 2:30. 2:30, Forest Hill Station House. But I need a couple of things from you guys right now, man. Number one, I need not only those guitar emojis, I need those Mustang emojis in the chat. And number two, I need that music on max. I'll see you guys at the meet and greet. And tomorrow, we're hitting a Grand Slam. Omega Danielson history. I'll see you guys tomorrow.